And a very good Wednesday evening to you. I had to think for a minute about what day of the week this was. This week is going by so quickly. This is Julie Edwards. So glad that you're tuned in tonight to Chewin The Chatt and listen to the song you're listening to right now on the radio. You hear how it's about houses? That's for a very good reason, because we are getting ready for the Tri-State Home Show. So glad to have Cynthia Blackwell from the Home Builders Association of Greater Chattanooga and Jesse Cox from Access Garage Doors in the studio with me this evening. How tired but pumped are the two of you right now?
I think that's exactly right. Tired and pumped. So we've started setting up the home show on Monday of this week. So when you all come and get to see those amazing displays, there are people who've been working hours upon hours beginning Monday all the way through Thursday night. So yeah, our eyes are a little heavy today, but we are excited that we're opening the show come Friday. So we have one more day and then we go live.
Jesse, you've been a part of the Tri-State Home Show how many years now?
I've probably been involved with the home show 8 or 9 years, but as a gold sponsor, about 5 years.
It's one of those events, if you've not ever been to it, and many people listening tonight maybe always think about meaning to go, and then the weekend somehow slips past them and they don't head down there. Maybe you're a little bit intimidated because you're not quite sure if you're not ready for a remodel or a new build. Do you justify going? It's the most laid-back, fun, eye-opening 3 days you can have. It is not, as you've pointed out before with me, Jesse, it's not a hard sell weekend at all.
It's not. Everybody down there, they naturally, everybody down there is in sales, and they truly enjoy what they do. And you could tell everybody just likes standing around and being able to talk to people, and they're not bombarding you as you walk down the massive aisles that are there. They're not bombarding you to buy something. It's a lot more laid back. If you're not really looking for anything and you just want to come walk through and see what's going on in the home industry, then it's definitely a relaxing afternoon or morning that you can do here in Chattanooga. You
may find yourself heading out there thinking, yeah, I'll go from about 10 to 11, and then you mark my words, you're going to look at your watch, it's going to be 2 o'clock, and you're going to go, whoa, I didn't know I was going to be here this long. Am I right, Cynthia?
You are right. I mean, you really can get through our show in about an hour and a half, but if you plan to talk with people, schedule a little bit of time, because you want to have that opportunity. This is your one opportunity to spend time talking to those professionals. Ask your questions. Bring them with you. Bring a pad of paper and a pencil, because this is your opportunity to have that in a really relaxed atmosphere, to ask your questions, be there, talk between different vendors. If you're looking at some of the same products, there might be different companies there that are selling them. Go visit with all of those.
Yeah, y'all were on 3+U with me a few weeks ago, and you both pointed out the benefit of that, because even though Chattanooga is not spread out like major cities would be, it still can be a hassle to fight ridge-cut traffic or whatever it may be to get from one end of town to the other. People are reluctant to do it. Here, they're all under the same roof.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you to shop around, you literally walk down 2 aisles. And you're able to shop
That's a long way,
different
Jesse.
products, and it is one thing I was going to mention is if you're not in the market, a lot of times you have stuff going on with your house. You see a crack in your sidewalk, and you kind of just ignore it. But you tend to, when you come down to the home show, you see new innovative ways that are less costly than maybe digging up your whole sidewalk, that they are going in and they can fix that a lot more feasibly than you might have already had this pre-notion that it was going to cost you or how complicated it was going to be. It's a lot easier.
Yeah, let's get into some specifics, because this hour is meant to kind of be the teaser for you, if you will. Jesse and Cynthia are here to kind of get into some specific things that you're going to see, maybe some trends that they're expecting to have hit the market this year in 2017. And that way you can maybe get some ideas already in your mind before you head out Friday, Saturday, and hopefully Sunday as well. So it is a variety of things over the weekend. You have 500 plus vendors, right?
Well, there's actually over 200 vendors, but there's over 500
booths.
Sorry. So that's okay. We have about 230 vendors. So just think about that number, 230 people that are your industry professionals under one roof, where Yeah, there's everything. I mean, if you're considering landscaping, you're considering just new fixtures maybe for your bathroom. You've looked at your faucets and feel like they're a little outdated, or you're just tired of them. You know, we have everything from those faucets to major remodeling, or you're considering buying a new home. We have builders and developers who will be there, realtors who are there more than happy to help show you what's available in the market in Chattanooga. So,
And these are the guys you want to talk to.
Yes.
These are your industry leaders in their field. Typically, the people that take on this investment, and not just talking monetarily, but the time. It's just like Cynthia said. Some people's been down there all week. You know, I've heard about people that just don't have the spare help to be able to come and set up this year, and it really is it's a labor of love that we do this every year. And I was just talking to one of my employees earlier, and you know, he's like, I love it, but it's hard, and it is. It's hard work. You stand on concrete to go to your customers, to go to Chattanooga,
Right.
and the surrounding area,
Yeah.
to let them come to you. And again, that aspect of being able to just see it all in one place is just it's irreplaceable.
Throughout the hour, and let me go ahead and give you the phone number. I haven't done that this evening. 267-1023. If you have a question, you're welcome, of course, simply to listen in for the hour and make your to-do list of things you want to go hit when you head down there to the home show. But if you do have a question, Cynthia with the Home Builders Association of Greater Chattanooga can speak so well to all the different companies who are represented as very proud members of that organization. And it's quite a fraternity, and I mean that in the nicest way, because they support each other.
They do. You know, that's one unique thing about the Home Builders Association. Even though your competitor might be sitting, whether it be at the home show and across an aisle from you, or in the same room during an educational seminar or a meeting, we are all on the same team. We're all in this industry together. We all want to help each other. And that's the part of the industry I actually do love. I love watching people share what they've learned, you know, and just be able to, for all of us to come together and discuss what is going on in the industry, what's going on in Chattanooga, what's happening in our city that's affecting us and affecting housing, affecting the market, you know, affecting the cost of living. I mean, the home builders really works very hard to try to continue to lobby and keep the cost of living to a reasonable amount, and the cost of home buying, I'm meaning to say here, that
Sure,
we want to
because-
keep building, you know, at a reasonable rate that, you know, we all as Chattanoogans and surrounding area can continue to afford our homes and afford square footages and all. So on the back end, I really do love that we are able to collaborate and come together, even though the person next to you might be someone who I'm working directly against to sell a home or
Right.
build a home or remodel our home.
Because in the end, like you pointed out, we're all from Chattanooga. Y'all are all from Chattanooga. So the end result certainly is to further your own business, but primarily to serve Chattanooga well. Jesse and I were talking earlier tonight about the fact that here you are, a small business owner doing well in Chattanooga, but you never forget the fact, Jesse, that when you go to the grocery store, when you go to get your oil change, doesn't matter the bank, you're going to run possibly into customers, and you want to be able to hold your head high knowing you serve your customers well.
Absolutely. You know, I lay my head down at night knowing that, you know, we did the right thing every day. There's things that can go wrong in the home remodeling and construction industry, but it's the people, in my opinion, and I hope this is true for my future, but the people that do the right thing day in, day out, and treat people the good old-fashioned way. Those are the people I think that are going to make it, and that will not only succeed but thrive.
The hour's going to go quickly. We got to catch our first commercial. 267-1023. Feel free to call in. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about that philosophy of Jesse's and this insistence, happily, on going back to the old-fashioned way of doing business there at Access Garage Doors. Also tell you what your kids can enjoy at the home show. We are back in just a few minutes. We are back listening to Chewin The Chatt tonight. Our guest this evening, the Tri-State Home Show coming into town this weekend. So thrilled to have the Home Builders Association of Greater Chattanooga and Access Garage Doors as our guests this evening. I want to tell you a little bit about Access Garage Doors, some things that you might not know. For one thing, they do repairs, are you ready for this, on more than 2,000 homes every year. New garage door installs, 1,500 homes per year. That's a lot of houses. What's kept them growing, though, so fast for the last 12 years is the old-fashioned way they operate. When you call their number, you're going to hear a live person on the other end of the phone, knowledgeable about what they're talking about. They're going to return your phone calls. They're going to show up quickly when they tell you they're going to be there. They're going to be prepared when they pull into your driveway. Also, if you're purchasing new garage door systems from Access, the owner, Jesse Cox, who's here in the studio with me tonight, still comes out to visit your home. Like he said earlier, his head hits the pillow every night knowing he's done a good job, and this is the reason why. So simply put, they've got that old-fashioned character that everybody's looking for, but they have all the advanced technologies. So call Access today. Their phone number, 842-5257. Jesse, you really have done a great job over these last 12 years of purposefully building your business the way you want to see it grow.
I appreciate that. It's been a long, hard road. It's not easy, and it doesn't just happen overnight. And we feel like we've hit our stride about 5 years ago, and we just haven't looked back. We just keep doing the same thing that we've always done, and it's the again, the simple things. Just returning phone calls. It's not that hard. Just return every phone call. Talk to people. Communicate. Communication is key in the home and remodeling industry to me.
And hearing a smiling voice on the other end of the phone, I called out to your offices one day this week just to kind of touch base with you before the radio show, and the nicest girl answered the phone. You were out with a customer, but she still went ahead and just rang you real quickly to make sure there was no need for us to talk urgently, and there wasn't.
Right.
But she could not have been any cuter on the phone. She just made me happy.
And the thing about like that individual, that's not a receptionist, and this is nothing against receptionists. I think receptionists are a nice touch for some businesses. But when you call and you say, hey, I've got a broke spring on my garage door, and she answers the phone, she says, okay, what area do you live in? She immediately goes into scheduling. She knows exactly what you need. These are live, not only live people, these are knowledgeable people. In the office, there's a man named Chris. He's been with me for 8 years. Nikki, she's been with us for about 5 years. David, he's been with us for probably going on 10 years.
That's a long time.
Yes, and I'm very lucky as the owner, but as the consumer calling in, you're going to get a live, knowledgeable person every time, and that's not easy to make that happen, but it's necessary, I feel.
Listen, garage doors have become an exciting part of your home.
It has.
I mean, they're almost like the front door of your house now. I think I read that 82 million Americans have garage doors.
Yeah.
That's a lot of business, Jesse.
I saw something the other day. I think it was. I think the number 3 thing that the millennials are interested in and want to see in their home, the number 3 thing is a 2-car garage. And, of course, on the front of that garage is Access garage doors.
But there, gone are the days where it's just nothing wrong with it if this is what you have, but where it's always going to be the white metal-looking garage door. Now they have wood looks to them, a lot of detailing. Wood
is something that has always been in our industry. It's gotten phased out because people they don't want the maintenance. But it was always challenging to make an affordable product for manufacturers like ours that we deal with. We're a master authorized dealer for Clopay. That's your largest garage door manufacturer in the world. But they're one of the first ones that's perfected like these steel doors that are affordable. Cynthia nodded off. She's tired from working the home
She hit the mic.
I did. It's your faux pas.
But it was a big challenge for manufacturers to make an affordable product, but that had the wood look, because there's nothing that beats that true warm feeling that a stained wood door gives you.
You know, when you talk about them being your front door, I know at my house, I live in a very old, or not a very old house, but an older house comparison to your house. Not quite that old, but I consistently tell people to come through my garage. I don't send you through my front door anymore. I say, come through the garage. If my garage door is open, that is your main entrance now. It walks right into our family room, into our kitchen, so that's where we spend our living area. So I use it as my front door. It's very rare I have someone actually might go to the front door anymore.
You must have a very clean garage.
I do not. I wish I could say I did. Unfortunately, I have children.
But something else, and y'all talked about how at the home show, it's all the newest things on the market. Well, garage, I was reading that trends for 2017, and by the way, Cynthia, you're going to watch her down there working and shopping at the home show, because she's going through a huge remodel at her house. So for all of you out there listening who are going through that, she totally feels your pain and your excitement at the same time, your fear, all those emotions are wrapped up in her. But so with these trends for 2017, technology, smart technology in your home is very much a big part of that. Garage doors, you can control them now with an app on your phone, right?
Yeah, I can open an app right now on my phone and in a matter of seconds and tap on the door and it opens. You can get email and text alerts during certain hours if that door opens. Now LiftMaster has even expanded that, and there's tons of accessories. If you want certain lights, you want to be able to control certain lights, lamps in your home and stuff like that. You want outside lights to come on and be able to control them through this app. Now LiftMaster, we're the master author. It's called Pro Vantage Dealer for LiftMaster. And now they've partnered with the Apple Home, so that's
y'all are above my head. I'm just drooling while you talk.
There's these platforms out there that are just taking over the home automation and making it very simplistic. And what happens is let's say you get our LiftMaster opener and you can control your garage door, and that's great. But then you got to go to another app for your other smart features of your home. Well, now they're all starting to mesh. They're all starting to do those business deals to where that
it's
Apple
like the Walmart
Home,
of apps, everything under one roof.
Yes, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens the next 10 years with home automation.
Well, you also, though, so you were talking about somebody calling in, they have a spring that broke. And I was mentioning that there are 1,500 new installs, 2,000 repairs you're making on an average year.
Yes, ma'am.
That's a huge problem for people if they're having to wait a long time for someone to come out to their house. Now the safety of your home possibly is compromised, or at least of your car is compromised. How quickly do you generally have a chance to respond to people?
We guarantee same-day service as long as you call before noon, which most of the time people are going out and they're trying to go to work and they see that they've got something going on with their garage door. We'll have a uniformed technician in a lettered truck out there fully prepared. If you need a whole new opener system, it's on the truck. No matter what spring that you're going to need, 99% of them, they're on the truck. And that's another thing, when it comes down to repairs, there's all sorts of little details that really make a good service company. And one of the small details, when you get new springs on your garage door, a lot of times technicians will just take what's on the truck to try to get you done, and it's over. Well, what happens is, what people don't realize, it's not, when we put those springs to counterbalance the door, it's not just about balancing the door, it's also about getting you the correct cycle life. Well, there's only one way to figure that out, and it's basically we take all the tension off the door, we weigh the door, we put that in our engineering software and all of these other specs from your door system, and it tells us exactly which springs to put on there that not only balance out the door, but that give you the correct cycle life. So you could have a set of springs that let's say, are 2 inches shorter than what's supposed to be on there, but it was on the truck that day. Well, that 2 inches can make the difference between you getting a 10,000 cycle life out of that spring to all the way to, I've seen it go to 2,000 or 3,000 cycle life.
Whoa.
That's huge. And instead of your springs lasting the 6 to 10 years, then you're talking more like the 2 to 3 years.
Right.
And then you're having to pay another service call. Then you're having to buy more springs. And unfortunately, there's a lot of companies out there across the United States that's actually their motive, is to get more service calls out of you in the future.
When you come to people's homes, because you do free estimates, so if they already have a garage at their house and they're looking to remodel, like Cynthia is looking to remodel, do you kind of just come and talk to them for a little bit about what their vision is for their garage and for the exterior of their home, and then sometimes even counsel them maybe not away, but at least give them your insights on what you would choose, and versus maybe what they're thinking at the moment?
Absolutely. It's always a fun little dance that we do between what the customer wants and what we feel like is going to look good. But most of the time, the customer's right as far as what they want the door to look like.
That's a good business owner, isn't it?
Yeah. Very, very political answer. But no, most of the time they are right. They're on the right track, and we'll make little subtle suggestions, such as, the standard glass. Most people say, yeah, I want some pretty windows in the top of my door. And there's where a lot of times I'll suggest, if they ask a security question or they live in a neighborhood where they want to be more secure, then we talk about doing obscure glass. Can't see in or out. You still get the look of windows, and it provides a nice diffused glow at night when you turn the lights on in the garage. There's all sorts of little things that we know that we'll slightly suggest to the customer, and oftentimes it makes for a better product. They don't know. There are so many options in our industry, and it's tough to get through. You need somebody that knows what they're looking at. I
mean this in always complimentary, but we all have those friends who you run into and you say, tell me about your kids. And next thing you know, you're just hearing this and this and this and this, because there's so much great stuff. They can't wait to tell you everything.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you ask Jesse Cox about garage door.
I can attest to Jesse's quick and speedy response. He got and it was funny. It was actually not directly from me, and I'm admitting this here on air. But I had that moment in my world where I did not realize my garage door had not gone all the way up before reversing my car out of the garage to manage to take the garage door out so having that frantic moment that I've now learned many people out there have also had. It's exactly what Jesse had said. He was contacted. He was scheduled to be out at my house. Unfortunately, my husband was traveling. I was like, I just need this garage door down.
She didn't even contact us.
I hadn't got there yet. I just hadn't gotten. I had gotten the garage door down with a sledgehammer, gotten to work, and then when I got to work, had someone there who said, we're calling Jesse. And he was texting, because he thought it was funny. He actually was texting Jesse before I even had the opportunity. But that happens, everybody. That happens way more than I ever realized after people hear my story about taking out the garage door. But it happens. And it can be a very easy fix, or it might be you need quite a few new panels. You might need a new garage door.
But you don't want to be taken advantage of in that moment of weakness.
And Jesse would not. He actually, because I have an old home that's being remodeled, I do have a door that was not insulated. We very basically talked about the type of door, and there wasn't a large upsale or anything like that. It was, here's what I'd be looking at. I'm going to be remodeling the exterior before long. Let's just kind of talk, what are the options out there?
Right.
What's there to offer? So I have a personal testimony for him, too.
I'm just kind of picturing you with that sledgehammer.
In a dress and heels.
Even better. Okay, we got to go to commercial. We're back in a minute. Getting you ready for the Tri-State Home Show, 267-1023. I'm going to talk a little bit about how to go into a remodeling project. Some words of advice from Cynthia in just a minute. Okay, I'm going to use that song as a natural segue into something. So my 12-year-old daughter is here with us this evening, and we were picking some music for the show, and Meg said, oh, you ought to do My House by Flo Rida, which I would have never thought of. So let's bring kids into the conversation, Cynthia, because parents want to get out there this weekend, enjoy the home show. Don't want to get a babysitter. You've got the kids covered.
Absolutely. Bring your families. This is a family event. We have, for your little ones, I mean, some big ones too, I'll be honest. We have a lady with Balloon Brigade who's out there making balloon animals for free. So make sure you stop by her area, get your child a balloon. I mean, every kid loves to run around with a Superman or a sword or whatever.
Right.
So bring them out for that. Look out, Louie will be out there Saturday giving out free tickets for kids to attend some of these first baseball games where it's the season.
Yeah, it starts up next month. Yeah.
Yeah, so he'll be out handing out tickets. If kids can collect more stuff going through that home show than you can begin to imagine. Give them a bag starting out, and they'll have it filled with candy and squeezy things and balloons. And I mean, I feel like it is like a gold mine to children. They have no problem being at the home show.
And depending on the age of your child, they have their own thoughts about if you're building a house. First of all, they know what they want in their room, in their bathroom, in their media room. They know it all. Am I right?
Oh yeah, it gives them good goals. And my daughter's 4 years old. She enjoys coming down there and walking around. And like Cynthia said, we've got a stockpile hidden in our booth space of all sorts of goodies that we'll be giving out.
They also get in for free.
They do. 16 and under gets in free the entire weekend.
So Jesse had mentioned at the beginning of the hour about people have heard of, construction projects and remodels that maybe don't always go so smoothly. I would imagine a lot of the phone calls you get at the Home Builders Association is people who are looking for maybe a reference.
Absolutely.
But also, do they ever just call you to say, hey, I'm about to begin a project and I don't want to have the money pit or I don't want to make the wrong choice? What's some advice you can give people listening tonight?
Absolutely. So do your homework. That was my first encouragement. You go out and when you research, whether it be you start online or you start on our website, the Home Builder Association has a listing of all of our members. Their websites are also listed, so you can go from looking at their websites, view their websites, view the things that you see them designing and building and what they're putting out there, because they're putting out there their best works. So when you see that, find the design things and what you like and start with those businesses. Once you're there, do your research, make sure they're insured, make sure that they have and I don't tell people to hold 100% into an Angie's List rating or a Better Business Bureau, but I encourage you, check those things. I feel like we're unfortunately a generation that likes to maybe complain a little bit than to praise, but you will find that people will praise. When you have a good quality business, they're going to be telling you about those in your reviews. So look at those reviews, read them, and then interview more than two people, meet with 2 people, 3 people, get your cost, go through the process, then come back, sit together. You can talk about it. You don't have to make immediate decisions. Take time to meet with them. You can call another meeting with them if you want to sit down, you have further questions, emailing, but I would encourage you not to be rash. Do your homework on the business. Find their references. If it is a good quality company, they can provide you references that you can call on, you can view, you can look at the work that they've done. So it does take a little legwork. I mean, I wish I could say there was a magic wand for you just to pick one great company, and you can do that. Sometimes it might be the first and you're good to go. But
you could definitely do that with garage doors.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, yeah, because I can't have her have mentioned Angie's List and not go ahead and give Jesse a plug. Because their Angie's List has this Super Service Award. You've won it, Jesse, the last 4 years.
Yes, and that's something that is what I was going to hit on with what Cynthia said. When you're looking at reviews, you want to look at reviews that are very customer driven. The thing about Angie's List is once a customer writes a review, there's nobody that can take it off. It is a true Google reviews. That's another good one. And somebody that doesn't really have reviews, you might want to dig a little deeper. you don't want somebody that's flip-flopping and starting new companies. You want a company that's been established, and a company that you've heard of before is real good. But reviews. I love reviews, and not just because we look so excellent on them. It really is. It's other people's opinion, and whether they're right or they're wrong, you get a good gist if they have enough reviews of how that company is operating.
I'll go back again to the benefit of being able to have this home show this weekend, because those reviews are great. I've done my share of them, from home projects to vacations. That's what we go to now. It's just kind of ingrained in our DNA to Google it and see what you see. But there's never a substitute for talking face to face with somebody. And just like in choosing a doctor, a lot of it is how you connect with somebody, how much their vision meets with yours, and this provides you that this weekend.
Absolutely. And you're inviting these people into your home. Your home is your sanctuary with you, your family, whomever it may be. So when you're inviting someone to come and do work at your home, that's important. That's important to who you're allowing in. Like Jesse mentioned, you might leave out for work, but you want to know that when you're coming to repair garage doors, or for me right now, my house is covered up with workers because I'm doing a very large remodel job. And I need to be confident that the employees that they are also employing are, quality workers who I feel very safe for my children to come home to, and I come home to. So,
let's talk about this, because you're right. Your house is destroyed.
My house is destroyed.
So, how you told us a little bit about how to get the home remodeling project started. How do you endure it? How long is yours going to last, Cynthia?
Mine is going to last 4 to 6 months, and I am living there while it's going on. So you might need to ask me about 3 months, because we just started a few weeks ago. I did come home very late.
You survived it by being at the convention center every day this week from 8 to 8.
And we do have helpful tips on our website for that. But I think you have to be very realistic about what you are getting into. And I think it's even talking about some DIY. I mean, I can tell you, my husband and I are really great at demolition. We are not so great at putting things back together. So there's others out there that are just like that. You have to be realistic in your time schedule. You need to be realistic for what the scale of what is happening at your home. If you are expecting a complete kitchen gut, and you are one of those people who cooks your dinners every night, can't, reel the idea that you've got to run out and pick up a pizza because you have no anything, you're going to have to make other arrangements or figure out a different living situation to make that happen. So you've got to be realistic and have those conversations with your contractors. Know a time schedule, know what the game plan is, and be really confident, because once it's done, you're going to love it.
But your contractors, and this would be true for you too, as a garage door owner, company owner, you can't read people's minds. So you had made the point, Cynthia, about don't hurrying into anything. Don't let yourself imagine all your different scenarios, because that way, I'm guessing, you can come into the contract with somebody firm in what it is that you want, what you expect, what you can and cannot handle. No. And then you're not setting that contractor up for some potential problems down the road.
Absolutely. And you have to be realistic for things like weather. I mean, I'm delayed already. I've started just a few weeks in. We're delayed because of the rain. Well, when you're needing your foundations poured or different things, you're adding addition of a deck or whatnot, weather plays into it. And everyone is really busy. I mean, I want you to be aware of that. The industry is looking really great right now. So make sure, like I said, when you're talking with those contractors, they might tell you, if we're 6 weeks out, we can't even talk to you for 6 weeks, 2 months. I had a few that did that with me. They couldn't begin looking at my project for 3 or 4 months. Well, I wanted to start a little earlier than that. So I had to come back and reevaluate and see who could that be, because I wanted to start a little bit earlier than what they were available to do. But have those conversations, because if you can hold off and wait 6 months, that's great. But if you want to get started in 2 weeks, you might have to take a different route.
We have been talking a lot about the remodel, but new home builds in Chattanooga continue to be a really strong idea that a lot of people have, right? I mean, it still
Absolutely.
is a hot market here in town.
It is a great market right now, and coming into the spring, that's when you start to see a lot more homes go on the market. You're considering selling your home. Market value is looking really good right now. Financing is looking great. I believe the last what I just heard, we're still in the very low 4s for conventional loans.
Which is nothing.
So it's nothing. I mean, think about consider the first homes you probably did purchase, or this might be your first home. If you're purchasing at a 4%, you need to smile and just be thrilled.
That's right.
For what others have paid over the years. So financing is becoming more available, and there's a lot of options out there. There's a lot of options locally. If you're a first-time home buyer, I know I'm talking with someone who is a single lady who's recently graduated, looking to buy her first home because she's decided she doesn't want to rent anymore. There's all kinds of programs that are helping her get into a home. Though it might not be her forever home, it's going to save her from paying rent for the next 4 to 5 years.
Right, exactly. And you were talking about the millennials, and I don't know what age group they fall under.
I think I actually fall into it barely.
Oh, no, he said
You little
that.
baby.
Yeah.
Barely.
The youngster. Well, I have a guy I work with at Channel 3, and he amazes me. I won't call him out by name because I would embarrass him, but he's just 22 and just bought his first house.
That's awesome.
I mean, it is the coolest thing to watch, and he's so excited because it's a great house on a great piece of property, but it's got a little bit of work that he can get in there and do, and he wants to do it himself. But young people today, I think they watched that recession hit a few years back and maybe watched their parents suffer some, and they really are taking control of their futures, I think, in a very strong way.
And as we all know from 08, 09, that it truly boosts our economy. The housing is one of it's the heartbeat of our economy. And we're lucky to have a home builders association that is so well organized and keeps an eye on these regulations and has meetings and joins people, because a lot of areas don't have this. We're talking about the home show, but the home show is just a small portion of what they do. We participate very heavily in the home show, but there's so many other areas of the Home Builders Association.
And we're going to touch on that too, because they have continuing education for people, all types of things. We got to catch our last commercial. We'll kind of plug some really cool things that they have going on when we come back. We're back in just a second. We are down to our last minutes. This hour has flown by. I am so excited, actually, that there is rain coming in this weekend, Jesse and Cynthia, because I think it's going to bring people out to the home show even more. If it was a beautiful 75-degree and sunny day, they might be more tempted to go throw a Frisbee or something, but they need to come and see all that y'all have to offer down there.
Absolutely. And I think everyone's starting to think about springtime's coming.
Yeah,
and
it is.
We need to get in our
Hip,
yards.
hip, hooray.
We need to clean out our cabinets and our closets, and let's put up these winter clothes, and, let's start thinking about our homes this spring.
And have them be efficient. I don't mean, even if it's just all you do is attack your kitchen cabinets to make them more user-friendly. I mean, you can begin small. You don't have to go to the home show with these multiple thousands of dollars worth of renovation projects.
Again, I like the idea of even the people that don't have a plan. I mean, last year I didn't have a lot of projects in mind for my own home, and I got to looking around and I saw the outdoor landscape lighting guy, and then I talked to AFS about some concrete stuff, and and I use these people throughout the year.
Absolutely.
And so even people like me, I'm connected to a lot of builders. I'm connected to a lot of companies. We work on a lot of business doors and deal with a lot of residential builders. I could very easily call one of these builders up and say, hey, what would you suggest for this? But I choose to do that shopping at the home show.
Sure. For the same
and
reasons.
I'm in the industry.
Right.
There's no better place to, again, see the people face to face, talk to them, get a feel for what they're doing, look at their image, and compare them right there under the same roof.
And you know what else you have a chance to do too? You can even go up to a booth and maybe even just stand in the background a little bit and watch and see how they're interacting with their customers. That's a big telltale sign. And they're all going to be great. They're all going to be great because they're all from right here in Chattanooga, and they want you to be happy with your purchase.
Yeah, and it's a great opportunity too. If you're considering something, you might not be considering it this year. I hear endless stories about vendors who are in the show, and someone comes to them that was at the home show 5 years before. 3 years before, and they talk to them at that show. But you might not have the budget to do it then. It might take you 3 years or 5 years to save up for whatever that project may be. But they liked you enough 5 years ago, and they've come back to you now.
Right.
So that happens all the time.
I hear probably every other week, I'll hear a customer say, yeah, we've seen y'all for years at the home show.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now it's their turn to use
Because we
you.
ask every single customer how they heard about us, and that pops up tremendously. Again, it's worth it for us as a vendor.
I want to ask you, not all the people who are members of the Home Builders Association will be at the Tri-State Home Show, but how many members are there? Do you know roughly?
We have close to 500 members that are, and that's everything industry related. So that can be your HVAC, that can be your garage doors, anything that's home related as part of our membership. So we have, and don't hold me to the quote, but I believe that we have close to 200 actual builder developers, and then we have close to 500 in total membership.
So you've told me before, Cynthia, that it's a great resource just to call the Home Builders Association.
Absolutely.
If you're wanting just to have a reference for somebody, they'll tell you who's on their list, and you can make your choice.
And it's right on our website. And on our website, there's helpful tips. There's helpful ideas for going through this, finding a contractor, what to look for. At the home show, we're going to be giving out a magazine that is produced by us twice a year. It's called Chattanooga Builds. It's filled with all kinds of helpful tips, along with an entire directory of every member of the association. So you come to the home show, you're going to walk away with our membership in your hand.
And you need to take that and put it in some safe place wherever you're keeping all your remodeling ideas, because your thoughts are going to change. New ones are going to pop into your head, and there's your go-to resource right there.
Yes.
But the members, and Jesse, you can speak to this too, y'all offer webinars.
Oh, we do.
Right? You offer all types of
when you're a
things.
member of your local home builder association, you're also a member at our national level, which is out of our state level, which is out of Nashville, and then our national level, which is the National Association of Home Builders. The National Association of Home Builders provides you not just lobbyists, but we have people that are lawyers that can help if you're in contracting issues. I mean, it is just endless amounts of resources for you locally, statewide, and nationally. But we offer educational seminars, continuing education, networking opportunities, different events. The home show is definitely not the only event that the Home Builders does throughout the year. We offer fun events for our members, for other community to come in and join us. So we are, there's different councils. We have a remodelers council, a green council, a light commercial council. So people that are even specific within the industry, we have councils, and we work with educating them, having speakers. We have monthly speakers and quarterly speakers.
And that way, if there are trends happening that you're seeing out on the West Coast, say, but they haven't come to Chattanooga yet, through that type of education, they can see what other parts of the country are doing and if it would work here in Chattanooga.
Absolutely.
It is such a smart idea. And you know something else I'll point out too? Chattanooga gets to have a lot of expos and things that come through town, and that's great. But they're traveling through. This is local. These are your neighbors who are out there at this Tri-State Home Show. And if it's in its 51st year, I mean, come on. This is your, what anniversary? Golden?
That was last year. So it's our 51st.
I had to think. I too.
I'm not sure. Yeah,
I'm tired on it.
It is the 51st year. I mean, thankfully, Chattanooga has had the Home Builders in the Home Show for 51 years, and we're going to continue to be right here for you and be your resource, Chattanooga.
The Queen of England gets her Jubilee, so we'll have your Jubilee this weekend. Come out. Again, it's 10 to 8, Friday and Saturday, 11 to 5 on Sunday. Kids 16 and under are free.
And on Friday, if you're 60 years and older, you do get to come for $5. Saturday and Sunday, the admission is $8. However, if you bring a canned good to help our friends over at the Chattanooga Food Bank, we'll give you $1 off your admission. So you can come in for $7.
And if you want to call and get a real live person at Access Garage Doors tomorrow, you can call them 842-5257. By the way, their website, accessdoorcompany.com. You can go on there, click around, play around, see what a new door would look like on your home. Thanks, both of you.
Thank you.